Thank you so much, Donovan, to joining me on our weekly live show. It's great to have you. And
It's excellent. I'm always happy, Sammy. Anytime I get to spend time with you is it's a beautiful day. God is good. That's what we talk. That's what we always say. Praise God.
Mhm.
So we say up here
yeah,
in
and,
Missouri.
yeah, and thank you so much. And sorry, viewers, we are late about 20 minutes. It was just a technical difficulty. So now we are back. Hopefully, everything will be okay until end of the show. And I also encourage, please subscribe to our channel to support it if you did not. And if you can, please make a donation via Interact. You can do it. It's a Sami Parvez at gmail.com. My email address is there. So it would be great. And I've been unemployed for a long time, and I'm going through a toughest time of my life, and I'm relied on line of credit. So I would highly appreciate if you can make any donation. It can be. And Donovan, I was just noticing yesterday, so I found out like 54,000. So I can correct it. Yeah, 55,538 people visited on the Sami Parvez show channel on YouTube. Okay. So the subscriber are just 358, and I was just wondering if these people donated $1 to me, so I was rich.
It'd be huge, Sammy. It'd be huge.
Yeah, so if they paid off like just donated 50 cent, I would have like 30, maybe like 25,000. I would get rid of my line of credit, which is like
Be
now around
golden.
6,000.
Start building it back up, Sammy. We'll see. We'll keep on trucking. That's all we
Yeah.
can do. The sun
Mhm.
rises and we rise with it.
Yeah, sure, and thank you so much. Yeah, and how is it going in Grand Prairie?
It's great. That's about, that's the population of Grand Prairie visited your channel actually. It's about 50,000 people. So
Yeah.
that's really wonderful. But it's good. It's getting, the leaves are falling, autumn is arriving. It is getting quite lovely outside.
hmm
Nothing really crazy. It's temperatures we're getting to freezing now at night, which is
hmm
good. Get a fire going, get nice and toasty, warm and toasty, which is good. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's good. And Sammy, how goes it in beautiful Kitchener?
It is always beautiful here. So far we are good. Like still we now I can smell the fall. Like it is when summer is completely over. Now we are in fall. Maybe just we are short of some rain or some snow. Then we are back to winter.
And we're here.
Like other than that, everything is calm. But I just want to bring something to your attention. I was reading couple of back about like Statistics Canada data, which suggests like Kitchener is at 7.1% unemployment rate. Can you believe it?
That's a lot. Holy moly.
Yeah, it is just crazy. I don't know like how it happened, but it is been happening, like for a while, as I already shared with you multiple times. Like I know like some of my viewers know too that it mean I have been unemployed since January. Like I see people are begging on the streets, or like many people are turning to food banks, and there is no strategies, or there is no something like it mean we don't have the solution to get these people back to work. And like Doug Ford was calling, get your ass off and get to work, to some homeless people. I don't know, like from in Ontario somewhere. I don't exactly recall. It means those people maybe need job, but where are the jobs?
It doesn't help too that inflation's high. So it's like what used to be a grocery bill that would be $150 is now, feeling like 300, and
Yeah.
that starts to eat into chunks. And then yeah, all it takes really everybody's like one bad, oh, I lost my job, and then you're 1 month you can't get your rent, you can't get any of that, and then you're out. it's scary out there. And I think that, yeah, it's very easy to say, just get a job, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. But like once you kind of fall into that, it's really hard to get out of it. It's an Alberta tradition. Our premier back in the day, Ralph Klein went into went up to homeless people and threw change at them and told them to get a job. So, it's tough. It's very easy for a politician that gets paid and doesn't have to worry about things. But I think it's also we're still seeing that aspect of COVID, right? People lost their jobs and it's tough to get back into it. It's not an optimal time, Sammy. But the winds of change are around us. Lots
Mhm,
of change is in the horizon. So we'll see if a new party fixes it or if at the very least it makes us feel a little better.
mhm. Yeah, and where do you think we will take it? Like, if I had David Creighton yesterday here on the Sami Parvez show. He was expecting that we would have an election before Christmas, but Brian Boffino, like I don't know, like I sorry Brian, I cannot recall your last name properly, but he said that we won't have an election until next fall. Like there are some pundits who are predicting maybe we have an election before Christmas. Some are saying no, we don't have. So where do you stand?
So last week I said that I'm feeling a spring election. I'm kind of in the middle.
Mm-hmm,
Um, the thing is though is that as we look at the Bloc Québécois giving demands and we start seeing that, you start to see the thread start to unravel a little bit. But
mm-hmm,
I think it'll be like a March or April. What I could see happening possibly would be, you know, Trudeau prorogues Parliament, steps down, new leadership thing, try to get that going, come back and then have that happen. Like that could be a possibility too. But I think the Bloc are mildly bluffing. And also the stuff that old age security though, that's really high to increase pension for those that are now 65. That top up is crazy. Um, but there's lots of politicking that takes place. Yeah, it'll either happen next month or it'll happen in around April. I don't think it's going to make it to uh, fall of next year. I think
mm-hmm.
I could see the latest would be like April. God, Sammy, could you imagine an election in December 5th?
I would love to see it. I cannot imagine like whether people should be concerned about celebrating Christmas or going to polls.
Oh, and then it's like, oh, my plane's stuck. Oh, it's election day. Oh, my plane's stuck in Winnipeg because it's snowing. Oh, but like, hey, if it happens, it happens. We'll see. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think things will make it. I could see April being the latest an election will happen.
So you think we will go on polls in April,
In
right?
the spring. I could see spring of next year.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the thing too, is that like the liberals aren't dropping. Like they're bad, but they're maintaining, right? Like it's like if you look at what they were at last year, they were right around that 20, like that mid 20%. And they haven't, like I could see it too if they were dropping. I could see that possibly being a thing. But like they're not losing support. They've got they're not gaining it either. It's really bad. Nothing's optimal for liberals, but like you're at this point where you're not hemorrhaging votes yet. Like
Mm-hmm.
yet all that hemorrhaging happened last year and now it's been maintained. So like there's also like, if you're the liberals, try to keep it going a bit longer. Oh, we've got a new leader going. And it said proroguing parliament like Harper did. That's a thing that happens. And
Mm-hmm.
everyone will get mad. And
Mm-hmm.
then that'll be the way it goes, Sammy. There'll be a proroguing, and then voila, it's springtime.
Yeah, I just want to take. take a moment to give a shout to our friend Adam Smith is there. He wrote in the comment, Sami Parvez show. Thank you so much, Adam. And you mentioned about like the poll is going on the same way, but there is a poll from Abacus. So which Abacus data suggested now the lead is 26 points. Liberals are like tied with NDP in the second spot 2020. Now conservative is 46. Like I'm going to share it later in the movement about what those data are suggesting. So I'm just the mean of saying that it means now they are dropping in the polls, like in some level, we can see they are tied with Bloc Québécois, or maybe Bloc Québécois could form a majority. But I don't know, like why Trudeau is keep pushing to being around. I don't know, like why they are don't calling it out. Do you think will Justin Trudeau step down before next election?
He seems really gung ho to sticking it out. So it's very, I don't think he's going to. Like it would have to take, and that abacus poll, you're right, but I need to start seeing like the Leger poll. I need to see all of the polls, right? Because you're going to have a poll here and there that's going to be low, but we got to see that aggregate drop. And once it's
Mm.
that starts to happen, once like Ipsos and Leger and all those start to come down, I could
Mhm.
see the pressure mounting, but he seems to
Mm.
be like, we're sticking through. We're going to go. I'm going to fly this plane until it crashes. I don't care. And I think that, as said, and I've said this before, say
Mhm.
what you will about Trudeau, but winning, the mandate for 3 elections isn't something that stupid, incompetent people do, you
Mhm.
know? And I think that he's good at campaigning,
Mhm.
so maybe he's expecting once the campaign trails go, I'm going to, and I think he's also really, really hoping for the bozo eruptions to start
Mhm.
with, if there was all of a sudden somebody that's super pro-life comes in and you have a pro-life candidate that goes to like an anti-abortion thing and that's caught, Trudeau can be like, these are the kinds of people. And I think that's what he's also really hoping for. He's hoping for the Deus Ex. Oh, look at this. Look at these conservatives. They are anti, they're anti-abortion, and then they might be, and I think that's what he's praying for. And then he can
Mhm.
capitalize on that. But to be Pierre Poilievre has a tight grip on the conservatives. It's very comparable to Stephen Harper's time, where there were lots of pro-life candidates that sort of kept that to themselves. So, and I think that Pierre's got it in the bag. Like, as long as he's not, I don't think he's going to fumble it. I think he'll be fine. But it said if if the conservatives start to have the cracks form where you have really far right people in the caucus start to make those, I could see Trudeau definitely staying on. But if time keeps on going, and I think once we start to get to that under the Bloc Québécois numbers, then I could see him stepping down. And or as mentioned, he could prorogue Parliament, do a quick leadership race, and then say, I stepped away and we're going to have an election in April.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
it could
yeah,
happen. Like I don't believe now Trudeau is going anywhere. Like there were some talks in the past, like it said that if they lose like Lisa Lemard, Wardon, or then before that Toronto St.
Toronto,
Paul,
yeah.
yeah, Trudeau would step down, but nothing happened, and I don't think. But now Trudeau might think, but I don't think he's going to think. He's going to run, like like as you brought up, like abortion issue and these things, uh, so they could like play like now they're talking about abortion, like people would deprive Canadian would deprive from their rights. What rights are you talking about? like it means these are legislation. They won't cut them down at this time, and no one is going to talk about them, and nobody would change these rules, like to make enemy for you in the polls. So it means if they do something like that, and I believe these changes came during conservative era, isn't it?
For like, oh, like the, yeah, no, the conservatives have always been every this what I'm hearing today is very similar to what I heard back in 2008, 2010 with Harper, where they said if Stephen Harper wins, abortion's going to get banned. But he said it's not an issue. And we're seeing that happen again with
Mhm.
with right now, right? It's almost like, the 20 years, almost 20 years later, we're hearing that same thing. And if you're Trudeau, you just have to hope that the bozo eruption starts, right? Where that the one person, the one backbencher says, I'm going to make this a motion, and then that becomes a problem. And I think he's really hoping for that. He's hoping for that Hail Mary, that catch. He's hoping for the Deus Ex Machina, the Lord's machine to save him. And I think that that would ultimately help out a little bit. I don't think it's enough to win it. You're seeing that in BC, where I would say British Columbia, the vast majority of the population is quite progressive, but they're tired of David Eby. They want to get rid of him, and they're going to go with the conservative option, who is also far more conservative than Danielle Smith, uh, who is, the UCP leader in Alberta. And I think that ultimately, when people want change, they're just going to do it. Alberta saw that in 2015 with the NDP. When people are mad, they'll just change it, right?
Yep, yep. You are absolutely right about this one. Like whenever people are sick, so they need a change always. And what happened in Alberta, now it's time for BC, and also now it's time in Canada. But yeah, and you think like this John Rust, is worse than you think than Daniel Sennett, but he has been in liberal, like his psychology should be must be reflect liberal, and I had Rob Taylor, Christian Heritage Party leader. He said he is not going to trust John Rustard. Like he was in Liberal caucus at the time when they changed the BC criminal code. He said it's something like they brought in like this LGBTQ. I don't know. Like it seems like they made some changes on the like the criminal code, but at that time he was part of that government, so
Well,
how come, and he voted with them, and now how come he is going to change these things? So do you trust a politician like John Rustard?
well, I think you also need to make it clear that the BC Liberals were a conservative party. I
Mhm.
think that's something that needs to be aware of. Despite the fact that it has the liberal name, they were very much on that third way, sort of 90s liberal, where we're going to have a lot more market going. So it's not necessarily because if you looked at it, in BC, there was the BC Liberals and the NDP, but the BC Liberals were a bit more on the conservative side. So let's not sit down and say that it's the same federally. Now, as mentioned, I've always said this. I don't trust a politician as far as I can throw them. I think politicians will say anything to get elected. They'll sit down and say a bunch of things. And Rustad is, he's on record saying a lot of wacky things. But it is one of those things where it's very talk is cheap. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. People can. It's very easy to say a trillion things, but doing it is different. And I think that once he gets into power, I could see it being just a one-term thing, and then they get ousted, if depending on what he does. But no, I don't think he's going to really do a whole lot. I think he'll do. I see Rustad doing things that are very symbolic, but not practical. I see him passing a lot of legislation that makes it look like there's a lot of things happening, but if you actually read the nitty gritty, there's not a lot happening. And I think that's going to be the case, where they'll be like, we're going to update the human rights, and you might see some parental rights things happen, but outside of that, not a lot. I think once you get power, all the bureaucrats come at you and the lobbyists start talking to you, and then you lose your morals. Like that's always been the case with politics.
Yeah, yeah, you are absolutely right, and we cannot compare with federal level liberals and BC liberals. You know, like they are leaning toward conservative, or they are center right than being center left. And yeah, I agree with you with your point that you never trust a politician, and we should never trust a politician. You know, like they will say anything to get elected, then they will then they will dismiss or break their own promises. So, and we don't have any rules and regulation to hold them accountable until and unless next election. But despite that, they are being in power, you know, like you are keep hearing what they said, and what right now Pierre Poulier is promising is going to X the tax and build houses, and I don't know, defund the CBC and fix the budget, and whatever he's saying, he's not going to do everything. Maybe he will just defund the CBC, or maybe X the tax, you know, X the carbon tax, but
Yeah.
he's not going to build that much houses, and he's not going to fix the immigration system. He's not going to bringing back a merit system in Canada. He will like work for some those lobbies, you know, like those I will call these billionaire tycoons. So he's going to make them happy in the next election. They should support them, like, you know, like they are these campaigns, and they receive billions of dollars in donations, maybe not billions, but at least millions of dollars in donation. It means these would all come from these billionaire or millionaires tycoons, you know, like those billionaire people, and they need made them happy. And I can tell you, we have a special guest is joining us. So I need to. Hello,
Wow.
Adam. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Oh.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, hold on one second, boys. Hang on.
Oh, Adam. Oh, this show's gonna get off the rails. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Get that
How
throat
are you
cleared
doing,
out.
Adam? You need to turn on your camera, please.
Hello, Sammy.
Oh, hi,
There he
Adam. Thank you
is.
so much. Good to see
Yes.
you, sir. I need to
Huh?
put. Good to see you, sir. How are you
Great
doing?
to see you, Sammy.
Yeah,
Wow,
good to have you,
it's
and thank you
happening.
so much for joining us. In case if anyone does not know, Adam is the biggest fan of Sami Parvez show. You know,
Yes.
like last night.
Yes, I've been watching Sammy since you met up there with Donovan, and it's just been very eye-opening
Mhm,
to just Canada
mhm.
and how many people care about the political scene. You know, it's just fascinating.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, you are absolutely right. And you are also mentioned that you watch our repeat telecast of our live. Who
Absolutely,
doesn't
yeah.
watch it?
Yes. Yeah, like if I miss the live stream, I make sure I watch it. Like it sometimes takes me a few days because you know you guys like you go long. It's like watching a movie, but you know you watch it in segments and you know you figure it out and learn a lot.
Wow. And what interested you to watch our Sami Parvez show and be the fan, and why you are too much? I would say, like, why are you fan of Sami Parvez show?
Well, Sammy, I mean, it wouldn't be the Sammy Parvez show without Sammy Parvez. And I'd say your charisma, your gumption, it brings a lot to the political scene in Canada. And you're not just a typical journalist. I find that a lot of journalists in Canada these days Um, it's they report on what everyone else is reporting. You're diverse. You express the views that, hey, maybe Canada isn't just a few old guys yelling at each other and a bunch of ministries and money. No, there's more to it. There's a heart. And you're like the aortic valve, Sami.
Thank you for it's an honor for and privilege for me that you are appearing on the Sami Parvez show and
Of course.
sharing that feeling for me. It means a lot to me, and it always like encourage me to do more. Though despite that, sometimes I wonder myself like whether I am I a journalist?
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, I mean, Sami, I can speak from experience. It is not the gig for everyone. I took 2 years at NAIT, the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology. I was in their radio and television program. That's where I met the gentleman. I don't know where you are on the screen, like on the stream, but Donovan is above me right now,
That's okay.
and
Yes.
that's where we met. I was actually thinking about it today. It's like we've known each other like over 5 years now. I think 6 years. It's just nuts. But yeah, no, it's not for the faint of heart, which I clearly am, because I just could not stomach being in that realm. So props to you, Sami, too, because I mean, you're doing a good job and you're staying consistent. There are a few things that, I mean, as a fan, I would like to maybe see a little different with the show
Mhm.
and the platform, but that's because you're growing and you're evolving constantly, and that's the state of Canadian politics as well. And so I
Mhm.
like seeing that, you find ways,
Yeah, thank you. And what
including Donovan Ekstrom. You found Donovan Ekstrom,
yeah,
which
I found
hidden
that
gem.
mhm. Yeah, I call him the soul of Sami Parvez show.
Yes,
That's me, the soul.
the
That's
soul.
me, baby.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that.
Thank you so much, sir. And what changes do you want to see on the Sami Parvez show?
Oh, Sami. Well, there are a few things I've been noticing lately. I mean, I'm not gonna be a critic. That's not my job. I'm a fan first and foremost.
Mhm.
Uh, but even of late, you've been attacking the Kitchener MP like a lot and I understand that you got to go after the politicians. You got to hold them accountable. Absolutely. And I find that most politicians these days are not held accountable.
Mhm.
But I first and foremost am a Canadian, so I'm not even like I have no idea what's going on in Kitchener. I just learned that it's a Green Party MP. It's very interesting.
Mhm.
But like I'm seeing a lot of you going after this guy and no response.
Mhm.
And that's the big thing is if a guy is ignoring you after all these attempts, maybe progress a little bit to a new target, if that's the right word.
Mhm.
And you don't want to be viewed as like a negative journalist because that's not how you get interviews either, right? You want to be sort of that impartial. And I mean, you'll have your views, of course. That's what makes you so unique.
Mhm.
But you need to sort of just I don't know, because I mean, maybe he is a jerk and whatever, but what politician isn't, right? And
Mhm.
so, from my view in Alberta, it's like, oh, well, the Sami Parvez show is focused on attacking his MP, kind of, like, and going after the longest ballot guys
Mhm.
and like fringe parties. But I feel like there's so much more that could be done. Like, there's so much to you, Sami and Donovan. There's just
Mhm.
these layers of sports,
Mhm.
entertainment, music,
Yeah.
film,
Mhm.
politics,
Yeah.
uh, vehicles,
Cars. We
fruits and vegetables.
we could talk about our favorite vegetables. No, but I think you're correct. I think Adam is right in a couple of ways of like if you keep sending messages, it's people will just tune it out, which is why I think it's like either get a new target or you sort of build it up and you do
Mhm.
like one big one like once a week being like, look at this piece of garbage, Mike, who's spending $75,000 on all this, but you build it up and then you just sort of launch it like a grenade. And I think that works out a lot better.
With that too, Sammy, because there are so many people attacking politicians these days, like you don't want to just be another voice in the crowd. So I'd love to see you get like creative, something unique, maybe a little production of some sort. Because that's how you separate yourself from just the average Joe, and that's how you look like a journalist as well. There has to be, a little bit of production value. Also, I was going to comment quickly. I know you're on YouTube, but I wanted to listen to you on my drive to school, and you're not on Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
So it's just like broadening where you're found, And I mean, Apple Podcasts, it doesn't really advertise much, but just having yourself on a variety of platforms would make you more accessible, right?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm going after you. I feel bad. I just met you.
No, I don't feel bad that way. If you are talking about me, okay. So just let me clarify with respect to Mike. I'm not against of Mike Morris as a journalist. He's my local MP. That's why I'm targeting him. This is nothing to do with my journalism. This is nothing to do my YouTube
Ah,
channel. It is not with respect to this, like he is my local MP and I spoke with him 3 times and the third time he hung up on me and I have been unemployed since January 2024. I'm struggling to find a job and he is living a luxury lifestyle and he is receiving 200K. He told me that it means he deserved maybe this, so he said he deserved like 200K like this pay raise. Even though I brought it up, like he did not speak out like about
the Green Party, Sammy.
yeah, like those things and about the carbon tax. He said, yeah, it means you get more and with respect to carbon and he told me that he does not support liberal government. Then we just did a no confidence motion and he supported like he went against of that motion and he supported liberal government on that motion. So these are my take us. That's why I'm attacking him. I'm not from the crowd or I'm not attacking him in a journalist, though I invited him to appearing on the Sami Parvez show. Still, I did not hear, and I don't think I will hear. And with respect to local MPP is also like from Green. She did not appear. She declined my request. She said that you may think about like next year. I said I'm not going to ask you. I just responded in a prompt way that yeah. So it means I knew that you are not going to appear. You are not going to like accept my request, but as I have been suggested by you both guys, so that's why I sent her an email. And once again, attacking Mike is not about my journalism. It is not related to at all. Like those are my personal tweets, and this one I will keep consider it, and I'm not going to bring it on social media. Maybe I will try to sending an email on personal ways.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, I don't know, because I don't want you to make like a burner account, right? But that's the thing, Sammy, is I mean, you've got the Sami Parvez show and you've got Sami Parvez. And I don't know, it's just you're connected, right? Yeah, exactly. You're needing that dough. And that dough right now maybe has a hair in it. And it's like that hair could be Mike. And you don't want to bake that loaf of bread with a hair in it. So maybe you just take it out, and like just pretend no one saw the hair and you're still going to put it in the oven and make a really good loaf of bread. It's just,
Yeah.
you know,
That's a
and I mean,
beautiful
it's tough too, because I mean, how many of your Sami Parvez show viewers are out of Kitchener? What's your writing?
Kitchener Center.
Yeah, Kitchener Center. Okay, so I mean, if you are going to go after this guy, then are you go like are you drawing in people from Kitchener Center? Like I feel like your channel and your advertising is way more determined like based on a Canadian platform, right? Whereas if you were going for, hey, everyone from Kitchener Center, look at this guy, look at what's going on, but it's just sort of sporadic. But like I said, just a small little thing, oh, yeah.
I'm here. I'm here. I don't know, like there is a yeah. Please keep going.
And I mean, to be honest with you fellas, like I mean, I'm a social studies major in school, but I wouldn't say politics is my number one passion in life. Like I don't follow it like you two do, but I still am tuning into the Sami Parvez show for a reason, because I do think that there's a lot of good discussion. And like last night, I Google, I just went ongoing or current or like future elections in Canada 2025. And there's no list, there's no like schedule. You keep me scheduled, Sami. You let me know what's happening across the nation, by-elections, elections, controversies, dirty spending habits. Oh, it gets me mad, but it makes me happy that at least there are guys like you out there keeping it real.
Thank you so much, Adam. This means a lot. And you brought up like with respect to platform. So I have on Rumble and there was another one. I don't recall it, but it is also a podcast. Spotify. But I was trying to make it on Apple too, but I will today later after this show. Absolutely, I will make it and put this one there.
Awesome. Yeah, and make sure like you put that link, like even on Twitter, like here's the link to Apple Podcasts, because oftentimes it'll redirect them right to that app and they can just
Mhm.
download it.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I will
Yeah.
absolutely do it.
How's your day, Adam?
My Packers are getting obliterated by the Vikings, and it's all because of sloppy play. It's like watching the Elks all over again.
Oh God, no. Oh Lord. What?
Oh,
Jordan Love's not, what's he up to? Is he
he's
just
thrown two picks. Oh, it looks like he just Tucker Kraft just rushed for a touchdown.
okay?
We're at 28-20. So yeah, maybe Sami Parvez show is good luck too. I got to start watching football on the Sami Parvez show.
Stay on, stay
Yeah.
on.
Although I don't have the express written consent of the National Football League, so I don't know if I can be disseminating this information at this time.
Not allowed. Cover your ears.
Mm. But it looked like a nice. Oh, maybe it was a passing play. What else did I do? Well, it's the last day of baseball. Today will be the official last game of the Oakland Athletics in the Major League Baseball. It's sad. It's sad. Another issue of a Green Party coming after the fans, of a nation, the A's nation, and taking advantage of something. I will be interested. I do think Vegas did need a baseball team, though. So we'll see how that all pans out. But, ooh, they converted the 2-point
Thrilling.
28-22. Are your Eagles playing right now?
They're losing to the Bucks 33-16 in the fourth quarter. Not optimal, but I did pick up Baker Mayfield as my QB for fantasy football, and he's got like 28 points. So that's good.
Underrated.
He's
Yeah,
I grabbed him right after the draft and I saw
nice.
him available. So it was a good pickup. It was a good pickup. But anyways, let's talk about politics. I saw that the title of the stream is all about election interference,
Ooh, juicy.
foreign
Yeah,
interference.
all interference.
Sammy,
Yeah.
what's going on? Is there foreign interference in our beautiful halls of Gatineau and Ottawa?
Yes, and we have like 11 MPs are sitting in the House of Commons. We don't know who the hell are they. Who are
What do you
these
mean?
11 MPs? Like no one knows. We just know like Handong is the one who has been this.
I don't understand. I don't pay attention. Tell me about what's going on.
So see, like in 2019 and 2011, according to NCCOP report, which is a National Security Intelligence uh, Committee, so which suggested there were 11 names which came in that report. So just Elizabeth May, Jagmeet Singh, and Justin Trudeau, and I think Blanche also, I think, read it so far now at that time back in June. So they say we did not. Blanche said he did not read it, but now maybe he read it. But Pierre Pouliot, it means he still did not read that report. So there are also some consequences you could face after reading that report. You cannot name those 11 MPs publicly. It means there could be. So I don't know like what's going on. Only Justin Trudeau can talk about those names if he wants to. So no one else can name them. Like what happened? Like there are multiple countries named, specifically China, Russia, Iran, Pakistan, and I think there could be, and two countries names are like just redacted. And 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 also I don't know like if you heard or not, back in 2011, no, not 2011, 2021, Tuni Chu, I think he was from Alberta. He lost his seat. He was Alberta MP, conservative MP. He was Chinese descent, and
Oh, I
I
remember that. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, so he lost his seat because of this foreign interference in China. It means spread it on WeChat. You do recall like what is WeChat? Like they spreaded more information. So how China attacked? It means China spreaded like this is not good for Chinese Canadian or something like that. It means they misrepresent. And the second thing is like that these countries will pay money or donate to these particular politician to get them. And Michael Chong was particularly attacked, and is also family who is living in Hong Kong. And back there was a report. I don't recall his name. He was appointed by Justin Trudeau for that commission, and he was also part of this Trudeau Foundation. So that's why he stepped down. Like he faced many criticism. I mean, he could be favored. So it means at that time also that report also revealed that so it means they interfered, and Chong family was attacked back in Hong Kong, and Chong was never told, like he was never informed until then. It
What
was
did they
like,
interfere with though? An election?
yeah, it means, yeah, they do interfere. Like they directly don't interfere. Like let's say, take a look on Hong Chun. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah, yeah. The guy.
No. Okay, so what happened on the nomination process? So liberal is very, there are lots of loophole in liberal party nomination. So what they did, people from the other riding came in this riding just voting like buses. Like many Chinese international students just went there and voted for this particular candidate to get nominated, because that is a safe riding. So whenever he will get elected, get nominated, so he will be the next MP, and whatever he will say, then government would do. Like it happened. Like it seems like there are also some allegation against him that he told I think, I don't know, Trudeau. No, he told Chinese consulate they don't release two Michaels, at this time, but he said he did not. And also recently we learned that public safety minister did not issue a warrant to ceases against one who is interfering in our democratic system. I mean, it took 54 days, and Trudeau's minister took, usually it happened within a week, but it took 6 weeks. It means
The
there is a
investigation or what?
it was a warrant
Oh, okay.
warrant against someone that his name is or her name was not revealed. Like
Hmm.
these things are happening in Canada. And also like in the House of Commons, they don't talk about these things. I know, like you remember back in 2019 or 2020 about that Winnipeg lab, that was a ice secure lab. There were two Chinese scientists were working there. Then they got fired. So Justin Trudeau never revealed why they were fired. Whenever someone questioned about those two Chinese scientists, Trudeau used is mostly in like famous tone. It is anti-Asian, anti-racism. This is nothing to do racism, that you if you call out some foreign interference from China, India, Pakistan, or Iran and Russia. Like those people don't get ashamed of it, but you need to call them out. So these things were never called out, because mostly these results. So Election Canada, this commission is still saying there were no effect on the results. Yes, there were no effect on the results, but the people who got nominated, they made a difference. Like recently also, Erno Tool, a former conservative leader, also appeared on that commission. He also mentioned that there was a one of conservative senator. He has a background in Asian community, so he I don't know, he or she so traveled to China, but he could not fire him because he could face a anti. He would be called racist, like he could spread anti-Asian, something like that. These things are happening, and there is very little coverage in our national media, and also politician don't talk about these things. So if you want to get updated more, I would encourage, please subscribe the Bureau and the Black Locks Reporter. They always like update on these things.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's not optimal. As said, there's a lot of nomination, and a lot of it is actually owed specifically because we're for some reason still operating like it's 1867. Like we're pretending that this system that's been in place for 150 plus years is actually still good. Which when it hasn't, it's all just very antiquated, right? Like, are we really shocked that a system that has more loopholes than a Ringling Brothers Circus would operate, and are we shocked that all of a sudden there's problems with it? And it's a fact that nominations are being run by the party. There's no independent thing, so you can, in theory, busload a bunch of random people that aren't even members of the political party, busload all of them in, and they can vote for nominations, and then that's kind of where it's at, and it's there we're pretending that there's no AI and no espionage. And in fact, that all it takes is, hey, the government of India wants this person to be nominated. We will support that, and that'll be great. And then you're like, oh, okay, sure. And it's all done behind the scenes. So there is like I think a push towards having at least some semblance of an actually independent commissioner. And we're seeing that with this Foreign Interference Commission, where it's all this somebody that is hired and appointed from the Liberals is now leading it. So why should they they'll take our time. Don't worry, it's fine. And that starts to become a whole thing too. Well, that's like the ethics commissioner with Randy Boissonneau. That's another thing where it's appointed from a Liberal. The Liberals appoint him. And then we're shocked when they say, oh, we didn't find anything wrong with the ethics commission. And then you're like, it's almost as if you're just a little lapdog. And then when they do find somebody, it's some like staffer. They'll sit down and be like, it's a staffer who did it. And then they move on and everything goes on. And it's frustrating. Adam, it's frustrating. It makes me so freaking mad.
Oh, tell me about it. So that's the thing too, is conservatives get in and any party gets in. The
The cycle.
Christian Alliance Party could get in.
Yeah,
And I think that's what you interviewed.
The Christian Heritage Party.
Christian Heritage
A
Party.
majority, I'm predicting a majority Christian Heritage Party win in 2025. But they could. And then they'll appoint.
Yeah.
Then they appoint the ethics commissioner, and then we're shocked when nobody finds anything wrong. It's like the conservatives will do the same thing. It'll happen again, and it's a cycle. It's an
All a
annoyance.
bunch of sinners.
All a bunch of sinners. That's why
Yeah.
we need Old
We need a
Testament.
Christian heritage party.
That would really make things
Yeah.
wild.
Donovan
I
and
wonder if
you.
they'd bring back the death penalty, if they'd bring back crucifixion.
Yeah, it
I
would be.
wonder. Ask
But
that next time
What
you
would
have
Jesus
the
do?
leader on.
Hmm?
I'm in favor of death penalty.
Whoa! I'm not. I am anti-death penalty. I'm the most anti-death penalty person on the planet, Sammy.
Death penalty kills.
I am so I could see a glimmer, Sammy, and of the death penalty being fine if our justice system was infallible. If our justice system had a 100% this person definitely, then I would still say no, because I don't think killing somebody fixes a problem, but I could at least see some semblance of it. But our justice system is not very just, Sammy. Our justice system is, if you have enough money, oh, it's like you're practically advocating for the eugenics of poor people and mentally ill individuals. Being like, yeah, sucks you can't afford a good lawyer. Time to get killed because the lawyer keeps dropping it down the list.
That does
Yep.
save some money on the healthcare system, though.
It does. You're right. It's in and out. That's all. To be fair, I am advocating for a 2-year term limit for MPs. And if you're really wanting to go for it, you can do a
2-year.
term, 2-year term for MPs. And if you're really wanting to do it, you can do a third term, but you get euthanized at the end of the
That's
third
right.
term.
Yeah, I heard that in the last show. I like that. Yeah. Well, and by the time, I mean, that would be especially valuable in the States when they're all a bunch of old geezers.
80-year-olds.
Yeah, right. I mean, most of them, it's like they're lucky they got that last few years anyways. But yeah. Sammy?
Yes, please.
Hmm?
All right. So you are asking me something?
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking if what would be the age limit, I guess, for you?
Yeah, age limit should be 60. 65 is retirement, 65 is limit.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, like
And
these.
after that, you'd euthanize. You'd euthanize.
The death penalty for the 65-year-olds.
Yeah. Well, hey, they had a good run. How old are you, Sammy?
33.
33. Nice. Spring chicken.
I would
How
have
old are you, Donovan?
I'm 32.
Oh my God. It's like it was meant to be with you two, honestly.
We were born, yeah, when he was starting to crawl, I was born onto this earth, and then we were just connected at that point.
Yeah. Forever.
Oh,
They should get fucking lockets.
Should. A friendship bracelet.
Yes. Yes.
Sammy and Don. We'll do it. Sammy, next time I'm down in the GTA, we'll make friendship bracelets.
okay.
Sorry,
And
I got us a little off topic.
Pardon me?
Sorry, I got us a little off topic.
That's okay.
No, don't worry. This our show is about anyone, like anyone can get in, especially a big fan like you.
Oh, thank you. Do we have any
Yeah,
chats in the YouTube today? Any live chats? Any fans?
So there
No,
is-
Let me check it out.
You're here.
Oh, I love it. I love this Sami Parvez show.
How old are you, Adam? No, we don't.
I will be 25 in March. Oh yeah, there's the live chat, and let's see who's in it. Is it just Adam?
Yeah, that's just Adam, Donovan.
Oh, and Donovan.
That's me. Hi.
That's cool.
That's all right.
Nobody watches our show. Yes, last
Sammy,
night. Yes, please.
I'm getting into the nitty gritty now. I've known you long enough.
Yeah, thank you.
It's time.
Yeah,
You said you've been unemployed since January.
yes.
Now, I'm not one to talk because I was unemployed for quite a while the last few years too, and personal circumstances arise and whatnot. But are you looking just for journalism jobs, or are you looking for jobs like all across the board?
Across the board in my local city, anything I'm applying from Dollarama to Super
Really?
Estate, Food
Because
Basics.
you're well spoken, you're a good dude. Like, what the hell? How can you not get a job?
Even though
Like, no,
I
like, and that's not a dig at you. It's just like that's a dig at the system. It's like
Mike,
the system. Mike, Mike
Mike.
is yes, it's Mike. Mike
yeah, that
Troll.
Yeah, I told them at least you need to rise in the House of Commons and call out the liberal government that our constituents are unemployed. You can take my name, you have the permission, but he did not do it. He is just speaking out about capital giants, like taxes are up for, I don't know, whoever is making like over 100 grand, like it is
Hmm.
about that one. So why you are not talking about me? Is there
Yeah.
not me, just personally, I have met people. I went there one day in there is a gas station, Canadian Petro Canada, whatever. So it means there was a gentleman sitting there and he was asking some money or for a coffee or something like that. I also met some people in other, like in the streets. They're standing on the street. They have a banner like something, a cardboard. It is written, anything help, please help me. Like I saw ladies, I saw old men, young men, any kind of this one who is interested to do it. It means there is a shortage of, like I was working back in 2020. No, just earlier this year, I got that job back in November, then got fired in early January. It was air, I don't know, that is called canteen. What canteen? And this is a group, I will recall its name, but I'm going to share it. Okay, so what they do, they will throw their garbage, like whatever the things are expired in the bin. So I saw people in the bin, inside of that, like that big bin. So they're finding things like whatever they could take. This
Hmm. Not food.
of food, drink, or snacks, like that is
Oh, they're eating out of the trash?
yeah, in the trash. Yeah, I'm talking about the trash.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they find it. Mean whenever I had something, so I gave them, but they always look at there.
Hmm.
So can you
Yeah, well, I
believe?
mean, hey, I guess it's free, but
Yeah, but that is not okay.
yeah, that's not the Canadian dream.
Mhm. Yeah,
Be
it
eating
means
out of
it is
trash.
shocking for me that I have immigrated from a third world country. When I came here, I saw such thing. It means it is shocking for me or any newcomer, like now I lived over 9 years. So I'm now connected.
Sammy,
Yes, please.
also, sorry I'm interrupting you a little bit, but also I'd really like an episode, like even if it's just you, like for 15, 20 minutes, just talking about your story, like who you are, where you came from,
Mhm.
um, like what brought you to Canada and how long and like I feel like that would be really interesting. I feel like then people would start associating with, oh hey, this is just like a not an average guy because you're far from it, Sammy, but someone where it's like, okay, well, I watched this journalist on TV and it's, oh, well, I went to school and I went to work for 20 years here. And at least you've got some background. You've got a heart, and I'd like to just hear more about that, just even like a solo podcast.
Mhm. Yeah, I will take this one and noted and will do it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And our journey began back in 1998.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, my dad arrived in 2012. He got rejected for, I think, 4 times, maybe at least 3 times. I know. Back in
Wow.
1990, yeah, nine. he got rejected. I think back in then, I remember back in 2007, he got rejected. I think he just got accepted back in 2011. But three times he got rejected and he arrived here 2012 and we arrived in October 2015.
Wow.
October 24, 2015.
So you, Sami, are a Canadian because of a Liberal government.
No, no, like when liberal government came in, so we came when at the time just liberal government won, like I think it was back in October 20th or something like that. But the policies then changed, like now you cannot sponsor adult like
Ah,
over 18 years old. Like when my dad applied, so at that time I was over 18, but he could
mhm.
apply at that time, but then the rules were changed. So I was lucky enough, like to get in.
And
Now,
so is
now,
Canada.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a long process and lots of things happened, like,
Yeah, I'd
uh,
like to hear more about that.
yeah,
Because
I did.
that's something too, is I mean you're a good orator, you're a good communicator. And
Thank you.
you don't often hear about those experiences from people. They don't often talk about it, about like the journey to Canada. I mean, you see lots of like foreign people. I don't know if that's even the right word anymore,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I don't know,
But
like they made anything like they term it like racist, like I don't feel it. If you call me you are a foreign or you are a non-brown or
yeah, but you're
non.
not. That's the thing is I don't like thinking of you as foreign. I don't like thinking of like people who are, yeah, you weren't born here, but if you like appreciate Canada for what it is,
Yeah.
God damn it, I want you to be a Canadian,
Hmm.
you know? That's what
Yeah.
it's all about.
Hmm.
And I mean, that's very nationalist in a lot of ways. And I mean, I got a social studies prof right now who's telling me not to be nationalist, but if we're not nationalist, we don't have our three coasts.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, some
we're,
some people think this nationalist word is like a weird word, like they don't use it very often. Like these some politicians don't call them nationalist.
mhm.
Yeah, I will try to think about that one and will make a podcast just because of your suggestion. And
Yeah,
they
just like about me, you
about me.
know?
Mhm.
Yeah, like about Sami. I don't know. I mean, because I listen to the podcast all the time and I know what your political views are kind of. You're very like uh I don't know what the right word is. You're all over the map, which I like a lot. But the person, the man, the myth, the legend.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. I have been with Liberal. I took membership back in 2016, then just left Liberal Party because of its, like these things, visiting India, then firing two powerful women. Then I said, no, now I am disconnected. Then I
mhm.
did not take any membership to any party. Then I supported conservative, like I had a channel with Sami Parvez where I shared those videos, but then my channel got demonetized, monetized, then demonetized. I was detained in in CBSA.
You were detained?
Not detained, but it was a like detained. It means my everything was searched out, including my laptop and cell phone. Everything was searched out. And that time, like remember back in 2012, 2022 Freedom Convoy era. At that time, yeah, during that time, and I had lots of videos about this freedom convoy. I was supporting it. There are two videos that are still there, which says that I support freedom convoy despite I'm living right now in Turbat, Balochistan, but I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. At that time, I was living there. Yeah, it means on the following day, my YouTube got terminated. It got suspended. I think this is something
Oh.
to do with this CBSA. Yeah. So, but then they restored it. I complained. Then YouTube restored it, but after a couple of weeks, it was demonetized.
Mhm. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about that in the Sami Parvez About Me episode.
Yeah, I
just
will.
about your struggles, even like the struggles as a journalist. Because I mean, like I was saying earlier, it's not for the faint of heart. And I mean, you see the journalism state in Canada right now, and it's like, okay, Pierre gets in, there goes the CBC more than likely, or a good chunk of it.
Mhm.
Chorus is going broke big time. I want to say Rogers and Shaw merged just recently.
Yep, it's back in 2022, I believe.
Yeah, and I think that's all just getting finalized like right now. And I want to say, what are they going to do? Well, probably merge a bunch of jobs and can a bunch more people. So it's going to be interesting that, I mean, our population is growing so much, and yet the number of journalists is dwindling to nothing.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, what we were taught at school, it was kind of funny, is the information that most journalists get are all from the same place. It's like, oh, we're going to skim what the rest of the news outlets are saying from the AP. What's Associated Press saying? That's what we're going to do first and foremost. We don't go to the people, we go to the wires.
Mhm.
And so it really doesn't matter who's writing it. It's just there's going to be less of it. Yeah.
And yeah, and also like for getting in media, you need some connection internally. I know like you believe it or not, but I do completely believe it. Whoever has connection inside, they will get the job. If you don't have any connection like myself, even though I met some journalists, like how many journalists appeared on the Sami Parvez show. I told them, I requested them, they said they will do, but maybe it is not there in control, like it means, but I know like whoever got in, so they have a connection, and getting a job, it is also like same, like you need to have a connection at this time. I know like back in like 20, before pre pandemic era, there were jobs everywhere. You just applied and get an interview, so you can get in. And I was working at that time Compass Group, and they fired me because they said, you don't, I don't know, like you are slow, something does not meet our requirement. So it was something like that. So I was very new. It was I did not complete 2 months yet. I mean, I was still in my probation period. So I was just now
Mhm.
learning how to do it. Like we had a vehicle, and you need to fill out those machines. I don't know, like when you insert coin or money or card to get your, I don't know like what is called, but it was a
Like a
completely,
vending machine?
yeah, vending machine. We refilled vending machines. Yeah.
That can be fun. You get free snacks.
Yeah, we got like we were told like from I don't know a day like you can take $10-15 things like whatever you want to eat, and yeah, we it means it was good. So whatever we
Yeah.
could, I ate there. I never brought them at home. If I ate something extra, I gave it to other, like these poor people or those homeless people I saw. I always gave to them. Yeah.
Very
Good guy,
nice.
Sammy. Good
Yeah.
guy, Sammy. The best guy.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. This is all your appreciation. And I worked in retail store. I was working in a call center. I worked many places. If you see my resume, you will be shocked. Like if I though now I'm just concising it. So I'm not going to put all information. I put what is required for that particular job. And I also worked in 3 elections is a deputy returning officer in Saskatchewan federal, in Saskatchewan general, then federal election. There was a by-election here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
you're a busy guy.
Yeah, now I'm very like I just want to personally share. So I'm relied on my line of credit. So my line of credit reached to 16,000, which limit is 25,000. Now I'm around. So I applied my EI. So I could not. My EI application got denied because I don't have this the limit. I should have like I think 420 hours. So I have from my this Compass Group job 316. I had from my previous hours enough, but due to leaving that job voluntarily because I quit that job back in 20 23 early in end of February because I visited Turbat, Balochistan to visit my wife. She was there, but then our application got approved and we came back in November. Yeah, this is what's going on.
Does your wife watch the episodes of the Sami Parvez show?
Yeah, she watches it and she always share it with her family member or friend. But she I
Oh,
was
that's so nice.
thank you. Yeah, she is the only one who always care about my these one, even though sometimes just play it to get more audience. And but she was saying that yesterday last night I was discussing with her why shouldn't I make some capes and some t-shirt with logo of Sami Parvez show. She said, who are those made who will buy them? I said, I have some great fan like I mentioned your name, Adam. I said Adam and Donovan, they are the biggest fan. They may buy it.
Well, and Sami too. I mean, just like advertising around town. If you wear a Sami Parvez show hat,
Mhm.
someone might walk by and be like, "Who the hell is Sami Parvez?" Well, I'm Sami Parvez.
Yeah, I need to. I don't know. Like, I need some suggestion how I should do it.
Yeah. Well, because yeah, I don't know if guerrilla marketing is really up your alley. I don't see that. Well, maybe. Who knows? I mean, I could, Donovan and I could maybe try and help, but I
Yeah.
feel like, if you're a political podcast, you got to sort of keep things um formal, at least for now.
Mhm.
And like, I think hats, t-shirts, I don't know, maybe like you see, I don't know what Kitchener's like, but if you have like street signs with concert printouts, advertisements, free bulletin boards, you could put some printouts on some bulletin boards and or the library,
Yeah.
get some traction.
I do
I think it's very possible.
I do have an accountant that I know that would be okay helping start a political party, Sami. So if we want, we could create the Sami Parvez party,
But,
which I think would definitely get eyes on the show if I
Hmm.
was a betting man.
mhm.
Has there ever been a party in Canadian history that you guys know of that's been named after a person?
I don't think so.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
You'd be the first, Sami.
Yeah.
But who is going to take membership?
That's okay. I can go. I will. The rhinoceros. I know a lot of people in the rhinoceros party that would gleefully sign this, Sami. There's a lot
And
of people that would sign it. They would be tickled pink to be a proud member of the Sami Parvez party. So
Mhm.
that might be like a fun little project I do over the next little bit is slowly gather signatures and then you'll be the leader, Sami, of the Sami Parvez party, which sounds so good. And I think, whoa, that we already have the logo,
Yeah,
right? We're kind of golden with that, the Sami Parvez show.
the
And
slogan is "You're invited."
yeah,
you're
yeah.
invited.
That is great.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
got silly putty all over my hands. Sami, do you know how I can get it off?
What is this? Oh no. You may
I'm
put.
trying, but it's kind of like, I don't know if it warped or got melted.
You need to put oil.
Oil. Oh, I'm kind of getting it. I think it's
Just
called a
like slap it.
non-Newtonian fluid.
You gotta like
So
slap it. Yeah. Gotta dap, dap, dap,
Oh
dap,
yeah,
dap.
I'm getting it. I'm
That's
getting
how
it.
you, as
Oh,
somebody who
Packers
grew
scored a
up,
touchdown. Packers scored a touchdown.
it's a tide, is a tide, is a tide.
It is 28-31. Oh my God. They missed two kicks today. They lost 6 points. There's 56 seconds left in the fourth quarter. That stupid kicker they brought in from the Titans. Oh my God, Donovan and Sami. Sami, who's your NFL team? Do you have one?
yeah, Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yes.
That is that
No,
is the
I
team.
kind of knew that. But how about the National Football League
Yeah.
in the American?
I don't watch. I don't know, like I don't watch much about it, and I'm just a fan of Saskatchewan Rough Rider. But I
Good for
need to
you.
share something, okay? So I
Have you ever put a watermelon on your head?
uh,
No, not yet. That's for the Grey Cup.
Mhm.
They
Yeah,
s-
you
the s-
know, so
hmm?
people watch more, like Canadian watch more this NFL than CFL. Don't you think so? Because people
Sad.
pay, like when I was working on that call center, which is Induja Global Solution, but it works for the Shaw, like Shaw, that
Hmm?
internet. Mhm. So people bought, I don't know, like they paid like $200 to $300 for that package to watch those games. For
Yep.
just NFL, there were no for CFL. I thought, why these Canadians watch NFL than CFL? I don't know, like
Well,
why.
yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead, Sammy.
I said why Canadians are more like they do more like NFL than CFL.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think it's kind of sad that well, I mean, it's not on CBC anymore, but there was a long-standing tradition of CFL on CBC. So that meant as long as you had a television with an antenna, you could watch football. You can watch, and I mean, even now you can get one of those digital boxes and watch hockey. You can watch Rogers Sportsnet hockey on CBC. And I mean, I think that's huge for just bringing people together.
Mhm.
And I mean, TSN produces a great CFL show, but it's not as accessible. And I mean, now that maybe they defund the CBC, it's like, oh, that's too bad that even the odds of us ever having like a national Canadian football league, like broadcast globe to globe, is all like not plausible really anymore. Whereas the NFL, it's just been able to, because they have all the money, they've been able to market for these Canadians and for everyone across the globe.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, you see those games in Toronto when the Bills come up for preseason games and it sells out, and then good luck Argos
Yeah.
trying to do that, right? You're like,
Yeah.
and that's a preseason game, like it doesn't
And
matter.
that's when the Bills sucked and the Argos were good. Like
Good,
they
I
had
know,
Ricky
yeah.
Ray. Yeah, like they I think that's
But
the last time they did that. It was around Ray was still in Toronto. So, yeah. Okay, what do we got going on here? Sorry, I'm a little distracted right now
that's
with
okay.
football. But
You
if you
can
guys want to move on to whatever else, I'm just kind of going to be peeking over my shoulder.
That's okay. I think my time is running out though, Sammy. I think I'm almost might have to wrap up pretty soon. We did a
Mhm.
lot of talking. I think we talked about the foreign interference. We
That was
talked
great. Yeah, thanks for summarizing that for me, Sammy.
Well, my pleasure. Always, I did not summarize it very well, but whatever I
No, no,
read.
yeah, I got the gist of it. And a lot of it was coming back to me. I had heard about it, but it's like, oh yeah, now I'm keying in.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Donovan, I interrupted you.
No, no, I was just I was just saying that is we had a nice discussion on that. We had a little nice talk. And of course, we got to see our number one fan, Adam. And I think that is ultimately
Right.
if there's a moment here, this might be a catalyst. Adam gave lots of good advice. I think
Mhm.
that's huge. And I think that the show's only going to keep growing. And
Mhm.
I see some beautiful things happening in the ether. It'll be
Mhm.
glorious. I'm looking at the Shroud of Turin right now on my computer screen, and I'm seeing something, and I'm seeing something beautiful. It's the Sami Parvez show, and it's going to succeed.
Mhm. Thank you. And I would encourage, I know like you guys always share it, but please share. And encourage your family member friend, like you have to uh tell three family member, five family member to do it, then ask them to they need to do it with five more, like
Yeah,
just
yeah, you'll fill it all up. It's if that is exactly it. It's a triangle plan.
Mhm. Yeah, as I was seeing, like 55,000 visited Samipar was show, only 358 subscribed. So if just 1,000 subscribed, so it would be like great.
Huge, huge.
Sammy, so I sent you that list of potential contacts. I know a lot of them are not politicians and whatnot,
Yeah.
but are you interested in going outside of the political field? Like,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, cool.
I,
Okay, well, I'll keep looking for more people that are accessible. Because I think there are people out there that would like to chat with you.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
I went through with some of them, like Chris, Joe Clark. I think Joe Clark was there, and then there was another. I don't know, like who was. I reached to these one former prime minister, and then there was a gentleman from former hockey player. I reached him, Tom McClure. I reached him.
Was it
All
Theo Fleury? Was
uh,
that the guy you reached out to? Because he's very political, but he's very like interesting. I don't know if that's the best way of putting it. I know I had him on
was he
the
a
list. I
hockey
thought that
player?
would be a he used to be a hockey player. I also gave you Frank Mahovlich, who you have to contact through mail, but
Oh,
he was a former senator and quite a Canadian icon, and he's
mhm.
quite easy to access through mail.
Okay, I will try to do that one. Yeah,
Hmm
I sent those some of those ones. So then I don't know, like I think I spent one just before. I don't know when we were talking. I told Donovan about that one. But then I stopped. Then I tried to reaching some other people. I'm just going to share small story. I was there on back in September 20th. Went there to cover that 1 million march for children. Okay, so that
hmm
that was not particularly about that one, but mostly LGBTQ supporters. But then I tried to get some people just walking on the street. I just did an experiment, like what you see in other cities like Toronto or Montreal. I saw people are more easy accessible than here. I think I tried, at least if I'm not wrong, maybe not 10 but more than 5 or 6 people just walking down the street. Sir, do you have 2 minutes to speak on the camera? No. So there were some people who just spoke. They said they don't want to appear on the camera. Like I felt that the psychology of these Kitchener people, it is completely different as compared to other cities, respectively like Toronto. Like I always
hmm
see people are just on the street just talking with people and they're answering. I think so. This is just my general observation. Maybe it could be wrong, but this is what I noticed.
No, I agree. I mean, even in Alberta, I've noticed there are certain communities that are more friendly and approachable than others, and
Yeah.
that's what makes Canada great is the
Mhm.
the different identities that
Yeah.
hold us all together
Yeah.
across the nation,
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
except
have
for
to
you
go.
assholes.
I have to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So
hit the road here too, boys.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you both.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Sammy. That was a great show today. It was really nice meeting you, and
Nice to meet you.
nice seeing you, Donovan.
it's nice seeing you too, Adam.
Yeah, we'll have to do this more often.
All together, all three of us in a Tim Hortons. We'll
Yes.
set up a
Ooh.
camera, get the mics all going, and
hmm
we'll hold a podcast in a Timmy's.
I think
Okay.
an 80 pack of Timbits
Mhm.
We'll go until it's all finished.
gone. Yeah.
We
Are
just
you
have to
guys
keep.
are you guys coming to like Toronto?
Are you paying for my flights?
Not yet, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, when the show gets it big, when you're on CTV,
Yeah.
then yeah, we'll talk about it. No, actually there are some really good deals through like Flair and Swoop.
Mhm.
Uh, I'd
Yeah.
like to do a day trip or like 2 or 3 days in Toronto one day, but
Mhm.
you know,
Time. It's the time.
I'm
You
and
have to and the
Yeah,
money.
money. I'm out of money. Whenever I will have, I will sponsor you guys to get money.
oh, what a nice guy. Okay,
Thank
boys,
All right.
have a
Yeah,
good Sunday.
yeah, good Sunday, sir. See you.
Okay, see you later.
See you,
See you.
Adam.
Bye.
Mhm.
And that is that.
Mhm.
Sammy,
That
good
was
show. We had a good talk. Got to
yeah.
meet Adam, talked about foreign interference. I think it went really well. What do you think?
Yeah, it was great. Like we talked about a lot, and we had our biggest fan of the Sami Parvez show, and there were lots talk, not enough. Like we were just talking about anything. Like as our show is not just talk about on a particular issue. It talks about variety of issue. We are not dependent. We are not scripted. Like we don't decide before what we are going to talking. We just whatever comes in our mind, we will speak. We will speak on our mind.
Yeah. Well, Sami, take care.
You take it.
You're great,
Yeah, thank
and
you.
we will do this again next week.
Yeah, sure. Hopefully, and Adam hopefully join us again. I don't know, like if he is going to, but it will be great to Adam.
And for you watching and listening, make sure you subscribe to the Sami Parvez Show. Tune in Sundays, 1 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Eastern. Enjoy the show. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. That's why I love it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Donovan. Thank you,
Take
and
care.
you have a good. Okay, thank you so much everyone for watching. And if you join our videos, please subscribe to our channel as Donovan was saying. And also, I would encourage you, please, if you can make a donation, which will be very helpful. You can donate via Instruct on my email address, which is samiparvez@gmail.com, which is already given in the comment section. So, and thank you so much for watching and supporting, and please share it and on your social media platform and with your family and friends. And thank you once again for watching us. You can join us every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time and 1 p.m. Mountains Time. And you please take a good care of yourself, and God bless you and have a good one.